Are you going through a divorce in Illinois and worried that you'll lose your home? You are not alone. We've seen hundreds of cases where people thought they had it all figured out until one mistake with financing, credit, or paperwork cost them the house. I'm Jeff Hughes, lead attorney at Sterling Lawyers, and we work exclusively in Illinois family law, and we see judges, lenders, and courtrooms every single day. Today, I will show you 5 crucial tips that could help you keep your home, protect your credit, and set yourself up for a fresh financial start after divorce. So let's protect your future starting now. Tip 1, divorce buyout loans. Know the facts versus all the fiction that's out there. You've spent years in your home. Now that your divorce is almost finalized, someone tells you, just get a divorce buyout loan. You can borrow 97% of your home's value. That may sound like a lifeline during the midst of a divorce, but it's fiction. Here's the truth. There's no such thing as a divorce buyout loan in Illinois. What you're actually doing is a standard refinancing, and most cash out loans cap out at 80% of your home's value. Not 95, not 97, not even close. We had a client, Linda, came in to see us. Of course, not her real name. She planned on a loan that didn't exist. And by the time she came in to see us, she was nearly out of time and almost completely out of options. We helped her use a standard refinance to access just enough equity to buy out her ex's share and make the settlement spelled out exactly how it would work. So the tip is, don't trust the headlines and rely on just what ChatGPT tells you. Work with your attorney and the lender to structure throughout your settlement a realistic plan based on your actual equity, your income, your loan eligibility. And in tip number 4, I will share a post-divorce strategy that may be awesome for you. Tip number 2, know your income qualification. So you apply for the refinance. The numbers look oh so close, but then the lender says, sorry, you don't qualify. Not because of the house, but because of your income. In mortgage terms, this is the invisible gate that most people never see until it is shut hard in their face. What the lenders actually care about is your debt to income ratio, documented proof of income, long-term reliability. Yes, you can use child support and maintenance, but only if you have received it for a 3 to 6 month window already, and it's scheduled for a long term to continue, and Illinois law that you can find at 750 ILCS 5/504. This allows support to be considered, but only if the lenders count it and you've got the paperwork to back it up. And here's a bonus. Child support can often be grossed up by 25% to improve your buying power. Because remember, child support comes to you after taxes. And so some lenders will allow you to gross that number up to inflate your income for purposes of evaluating you for the loan. But this has to be documented correctly in your paperwork. Tip number 3, protect your credit like it's evidence. Divorce doesn't just strain your emotions. It stalks your credit. A common assumption that I see is my ex, they're responsible for that debt now. I'm safe. The reality is that if your name is on the loan, the bank will come after you too. A late payment from a joint account that you are not responsible for under the divorce decree, that drops your score by 100 points, and the mortgage application gets rejected. Now, you can't avoid that. You can do that by freezing or closing all joint accounts as soon as possible. Track all payments, even the assigned ones. Use apps like Credit Karma or Experian to always understand exactly where your credit score is at and what is on it that is impacting a negative pressure on your score. You should also build credit with a solo credit card that is in your name only, and keep that available balance on it as big as possible. Tip number 4, think smarter about your down payment. So you assume that you need 20% down to buy a home after the divorce. That's not always the case, and that rigid belief could cost you your next home. Now, here's what's actually possible in Illinois. You can actually do 3% down on a conventional loan or 3.5% down on an FHA loan. There are also IHDA programs that have up to a $10,000 assistance. So it is possible to go for a mortgage with only 3% down, but you've got to be thoughtful and plan this out in advance. But knowing that option is there can enable you to get into a house much quicker. Tip number 5, use debt allocation to your advantage. And I'm talking about the debt allocation in your final divorce decree. I've seen scenarios where an ex has the old home, but the mortgage hasn't been refinanced. Therefore, the other party is still on the mortgage. And so they assume that they're blocked from buying something new. But look, that's not always the case. If your divorce decree clearly assigns the debt to your ex, the lender may accept that assignment. Not all of them will, but some of them do. And you may be able to exclude that debt from your debt to income ratio. And this applies to mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards. However, you still need to monitor those accounts. Missed payments will impact your score. The language in your divorce decree must be clear that the other party has that debt and that they are responsible for it. The lender needs to see that and be satisfied as you work through the underwriting process that you are eligible to get a loan to buy this house. So you've learned how to protect your credit, qualify for a loan, and keep your options open. But what if keeping the house isn't realistic? In our next video, we talk about advice for selling your home during a divorce, and I'll walk you through when selling is the smarter move and how to do it without regret. Don't miss this. I will see you over there.